The topic of today's video is how I apply my labels to my clear or cling rubber stamps from Stampin' Up. So this is a new stamp set, and you can see I've just removed the release paper from the stamps within that rubber square, and I leave the stamps in the square. It's much easier for me to do it this way. So I'm removing the label from the sticker sheet, and I take a half of that release paper off and leave one half on, and I use the side that just has the release paper still on it, and I size it up, I move it around, I get perfect placement before I take off the second piece of the release paper and fully stick that label down. So I'm going to show you the whole entire process of what I do, and so you can really get a good idea of how those labels go on perfectly. Removing half the side, placing the label where it needs to go by not adhering anything down first and sort of just holding it there on the side that has the release paper on it, and then when I'm satisfied that it's in the right spot, then I press down the sticky side of the label and then flip it over and remove that release paper and stick the label fully down. For these small images, I'm placing my piercing tool underneath to help for placement. It's an easy way of making sure that my labels get on perfectly straight. Now, for this stamp set, I'm going to be using the old Stampin' Up! Two-way glue pen, and I have an alternative because this glue pen is no longer being sold by Stampin' Up!, but there is something out there that you can use that's exactly the same. But for the second part of this stamp set, I will show you how I do the tombow. So again, removing that backing paper from the stamp and leaving the stamps in the square rubber piece, taking off the sticker, removing half of that release paper, and putting it into place by that part that only has the release paper on it, making sure that I'm happy with the placement, then sticking down the sticky side, removing the release paper and sticking it all the way down. It works on big stamps and little stamps, tiny ones, big ones, background stamps. It all works the same. So I'm almost finished here, and I will be applying Tombow Mono adhesive on the back of this stamp set. Now, there's a lot of people that don't put their labels on because they like this cling, just that gray part of the stamp. They find it sticks better to the acrylic block. But I like seeing where my stamp, where the sentiment is, what it looks like. I'm very visual, so I need that. So here's the Tombow glue. I've sort of squirted a little bit out on a piece of paper, and then there was a little bit extra coming in, so I decided to smear that on the stamp. But normally I just use a piece of that backing paper, and with my finger I just coat the entire back side and I leave them to dry. This is the pen, glue pen, that you can find. It's by Zig, and you can find it in you can find it online for sure, but you can also find it in your local crafting store. basically you have to let that glue dry so it's blue when it comes out, and when it's blue it becomes permanent, so you don't want to stick the stamp out. But as soon as, if you just put that stamp set aside and let it dry for a few minutes, you will find that glue will have dried clear, and therefore it is repositionable. I want you to feel free to ask me any questions you may have. You can contact me via email or social media. I'm happy to earn your business, so please let me know how I can be of service. Thanks so much for watching.